Hi, my name's Karen Arribas. I'll be doing a short lesson for the Art and Soul studio blog. I've got a Strathmore small sketchbook here. I'm just using a little bit of washi tape to put the middle so that the paint doesn't go through the middle. I've also got some dilution sprays here that I'm using, which is vibrant turquoise and also the lemon zest dilution. So I like to just turn the page and spread it a little bit and get a bit more interest that way. Once it's dried, I'm using an archival black pink pigment, black permanent ink. I'm using the Script Kaiser Craft stamp here to layer. This is the liquid text turquoise deep acrylic ink, just splodging it around. I really like this. It's really vibrant colour, and it also spreads around really nicely. And because I don't like to waste any of it, I'm just using it to spread around the page a little bit and use it all. So yeah, just let it all keep spreading around and getting some interest. And I also use the red dilution spray. There you can see the cherry pie. And now I'm just outlining the face. I'm actually doing a fairy, a flying fairy. So I'm just doing the outline with just a normal HB pencil. Just wanted to get an outline at this stage, just so we know where we're gonna be painting. So there I am doing the wings. And now I'm just outlining the face, the nose, the eyes. It's a bit difficult to see with all the the background going on, but what I really want to do is keep those marks and add a bit of interest that way. So as you can see, I'm just trying to show you a bit more. So there's a hair that I'm drawing in. You can't really see much at the moment, but you will, because I'll use a darker pencil in a minute to outline it a little bit more. Here we go. So this is a Faber-Castell purple pencil that I'm now using to draw over to make it a little bit darker. I don't want to use black at this stage because I just want to, get that subtle outline. So there I go around the face. And at this stage, don't worry too much about how your figure's going to look. It's just solely, enjoying yourself, getting, I like to draw ladies and fairies and mermaids and all of those mystical, ethereal characters. But you can, draw anything you like. This is just what I do. So this is why I've picked a fairy. But this piece, here's the Liquitex. So what I want to do is like a negative effect with a photo. You have with the negative, it's more like I want to paint on the outside, so I leave all of the lovely textures in the inside, and get those really nice marks going within the body and the face, etc. So I'm just using the Liquitex because I like the Liquitex. It's Liquitex gesso, sorry, because you can still see a little bit of transparency in the background, and also it's with the dilutions, it's mixing in a little bit, and you're getting some nice colours coming through because they're water soluble. It's mixing in a little bit with the gesso, so I like that effect. So here we go. So I've just got a little bit more going around. So as you can see, the body's now taking shape. I'm using a gel pen, white gel pen, to outline her eyes, so you can see a little bit more of the features coming through. There's her mouth. And then what I'm using is just a little bit of water, and I'm actually using a dilution inks. I'm just spreading them around. They're actually quite potent to water, so they're just, as you can see, they're reacting quite a lot and coming out as like a a red colour. That wasn't my intention, but I actually like the colour that it's coming out. So as you can see, I'm doing a little bit more outlining with the gesso. So you can see a little bit more of her features black Sharpie there to do her pupils. Now these are Tombos, so I'm using the bright Tombos. And what I like about the Tombos is that you have an element of control. They're like felt tip pens, but once you use water, that also becomes reactive as well. So they're a little bit like a watercolour in a felt tip pen, is how I would explain them. So you can choose to react it, or you can just leave it as what looks like a felt tip pen type of effect. So I'm just using the pencil, just again, it's a black pencil, and then a Sharpie to do the outlines of the eyes, so you can get a bit more definition going on. This might be going a little bit fast, but you can, stop and start the video if you want to copy this. So the gel pen there again, just to outline, and then smudge it a little bit, just so it all goes in, smudge all together quite nicely, defining the nose there and some of the lips, so it gives it a bit more definition. Also put a bit of light on the lips so you can bring them out a little bit. So now, because I want this to be about our story, I'm doing a little bit more of the script on the on the fairy, bringing the background together with the foreground. So I wanted what was a script, because it's going to be about your story. So there I am, just defining a little bit more of the face, going around a little bit more. I think I'm using a tiny bit of gesso there just to highlight some of the face. So don't get too hung up on that. It's just to define the face a little bit more. So just basically just enjoying yourself with this whole process. Don't just have fun with it and see what effects you get. I had no idea what I was going to create when I started this painting, and it just sort of came out. I'm a bit of an intuitive painter, so I like to paint that way. I just have my favourite subjects to paint, like I said, the ladies and the fairies, and so you're pretty much going to get one of those. Sometimes I like to do animals as well, but it's just what the mood takes me. There you go, I'm just using a bit more of the Tombow markers to highlight. That one is the purple out of the brights. So there you can see. And so because that ink is permanent, you can still see it. Once that sets, it doesn't smudge, which is why I like using those permanent inks. And you can work up the layers. So as you can see, I've added a little bit more water and made it a bit more, smudging into the background. So I'm just doing the same with the body now, and just trying to outline a little bit of the arm and the wings. There's the wing, putting a little bit of the pink in there, just to give that a little bit of definition. See, I don't want to do too much because I really like the marks that are in there, and that was the whole point. So there we go, defining her arm. Just smudge it a little bit more. And a little bit of gesso around there, just to define it just that little bit more, just to make it a little bit sharper. And then just water that down a little bit to smudge into the background. And so what I'm doing here is I got a piece of paper. I really like this paper. I was going to use, but then I realised that I didn't really want to take away from the marks within the lady, so I am using it as inspiration to do like wind effects. I'm using the gel pen here, but I don't think I'm liking the effect. It's not coming out as much as I'd like, so then I start using white acrylic to outline those waves. So they're supposed to be like wind. I'm just doing a few more dots. So I'm going to cover the whole page like this, so it does take a little bit of patience, but it's up to you. You don't have to do the whole page if you don't want to. This is a fairly small sketchbook, so so I don't normally work this small. I actually work quite big. I tend to use A3. But working in such a small sketchbook is actually a good challenge for me, and I'm actually really enjoying working quite small as well. So it's good to challenge yourself. There you go. So I've now covered the whole of the page in the white acrylic. Um, there's no particular pattern. I'm just using, as you can see, that paper as inspiration. There you go. So just putting some highlights in her hair, and yeah, so just highlighting the hair as we go, and putting some dots in to add a bit more interest. And so because it's about your story, I did this on the computer, so I just cut up some, I just put that on a text on the computer, and then I just printed them out. So that's one way of doing it. There are all sorts of different ways you can put text in. You can cut words out of magazines, and I'll just put a bit of a flower in, and that's it. And there you go. Thanks.